Hey guys, it's Siobhan with The Kitty and Beyond. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a full moon reading for the Capricorn partial lunar eclipse. Yeah, it's been some interesting energies to say the least. So I figured I'd hop on here and see what's going on for us. So right off the bat, I can tell you right now, we've got like 6 planets in retrograde. You've probably heard me talking about this a lot. It's just a lot of review, so there's a lot of karmic stuff going on. All of the monthlies have been reflecting this as well. It's very much karmic purging to the extreme. So it's not just like something, oh yeah, the emperor authority. So this is questioning authority. This is purging karma as it relates to authority figures from our past or in our life. So specifically the father, the masculine energy, anybody who held power over you or controlled you in any way, good or bad. It's just getting that out to the forefront so that we can look at it and see what we're willing to allow, or who or what we're willing to give our power to, and who and what we're not willing to give our power to. So that's a big one. 4s are about stability as well. So we are finding our stability slowly but surely. Oh, it went all the way down. Heart chakra, and another 4. So this is another one about stability. It's the 4th chakra. It's the bridge between your lower chakras and your higher chakra centers. So this is the epicenter of unconditional love. This is your access to the source unconditional love that is all around us and within us, but this is like the center that really supercharges that. So the heart chakra and the authority together, it's authority over your advancement in your heart, opening up your heart. And a lot of the time, really loving authority figures will be some of the best memories that we have. And then really negative authority figures or people who tried to control us or limit us or take our power. Those are some of the worst memories that we have. So there's a lot coming up right now. Wow, we have another 4, you guys. Rest and rejuvenate. So this is all about meditation. This is about giving your mind a break. This is about really healing mentally, doing a lot of mental purging as it relates to the themes of authority and the heart chakra. So the heart chakra, we often associate it with emotion, but it's intricately linked to the mind. And did you know that the heart actually has more signal capabilities connected to the brain than the brain does to the heart, or vice, what am I trying to say here? Mercury retrograde. Your heart speaks more to your head than your head does to your heart, basically. So this is really about coming into stability of the heart and the mind. So it's having that harmonization. Heart Math, I think there's Heart Math Society, and they talk about coherence. So heart coherence. And when the frequencies from your brain and the frequencies from your heart are matching and they're in harmony, it brings you into this level of balance and stability as a unit, as a system. Like your whole body just flows better. You're more able to cope with stress. You're more able to cope with you're not even cope with. You're more able to manifest. You're more able to be in a state of bliss. You're more able to move through life with confidence and clarity and sure of yourself. Like you've just got your shit together. And it's when they are out of alignment, it's when they are not communicating well, that we get confused, we get scared, we get stuck. We feel trapped. We feel unsure of ourselves. We lack the ability to make our own decisions. And that's where this authority comes in, because if you are not in alignment with yourself and you're not able to come to that sort of clarity that you really need to move forward, then chances are you're going to give your power away to somebody else because you're hoping that they'll have the answer for you. But you have to be careful with trusting other people to have and giving them your power, because not everybody has your best interests in mind. Your higher self does, though. Your higher self, and in association with your guides, that's your truest form of guidance, because you know for a fact that those beings are looking out for your best interests, your highest good. And even if an authority figure, somebody that you think holds more information, more knowledge, more wisdom, more power than you, even if they have the best intentions in mind, they're still just coming from their human mind, right? So they don't necessarily know what you need. They can give you advice and you can choose to take it or choose not to take it. But if you're giving them all your power and you're saying, you tell me whatever you need, you tell me what I need to do, I'll do it. That's not good, because then you're making things that are not, you're making choices, you're doing things that are not in alignment necessarily with your soul. So I think this is where we really got into trouble as humans. This is where we kind of got off course, was giving our power away to gods and to kings and to politicians. Yeah. So, I mean, we give our power away a lot, not even realizing that we're doing that. And at a smaller scale, we do it with our friends and family. We allow them to shift our perspective, not necessarily always in a good way. And then here's the thing. If something resonates with you, if you feel aligned and harmonious with the information that is coming to you, then it is in alignment with your soul. But how are you going to know that if you are out of alignment personally? So it's really important to get that heart-mind coherence, so that it's like the chariot. When you've got two horses and they're going in separate directions, they're just going to pull you apart. You need to have them both reined in, going in one direction, so that you can move forward successfully and not blow into a million pieces. So this is really about getting yourself into alignment so that you can have that inner knowing when something is right for you and when something is not right for you. And somebody can have the best intentions and it's still not going to be right for you. And somebody can have the worst intentions and you'll know it's not right for you because you'll just pick up on that, like it's your radar system, like your bullshit meter will start ding, 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 ding. Like, don't do that. So, yeah. So rest and rejuvenate also, before I keep pulling cards, rest and rejuvenate also has a lot to do with like healing PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So it's in our minds, right? Like the trauma is over, but we still hold that in our minds. We play it out in our memory. It comes back to us in our dreams. It's in the subconscious mind. It's in the conscious mind. So rest and rejuvenate is also really about getting back into your heart center so that you can use that communication, again, the coherence, to heal your mind and the traumas therein, so that you can come from a place of unconditional love and heal any memories, any experiences, any traumatic events that came from or were exacerbated by fear. So lots of 4, and 4, which I see a lot actually. And I had a dream about it the other night too. I was wearing an earring on either side. They both had 4. They looked like almost like star constellations. And then I had a necklace or something. It was over my chest and it was 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. And so this is really to do with, again, stability, foundations, dedication, commitment, hard work, but it's also about the angels. So this is saying that the angels are around you, the angels are supporting you, the archangels wish to be of assistance to you in getting yourself into balance, into alignment, into coherence, into harmony, so that you can be of assistance to others, and they will know also when you are actually helping them, if it is in alignment with their soul, and or when something is not, or when someone else is not. So this really helps you on your journey, because you're not questioning whether something is right for you or not. You just know, you can feel it, and it'll happen instantaneously. Your intuition happens within a fraction of a second, and it's so fast that sometimes it's difficult to listen to it because it's fleeting. It's the very first thought, but then your rational mind, your logical mind, your ego comes in and tries to override that thought with logic, with belief, with whatever else. Okay, so we've got a couple of other cards here. We have spiritual strength. So again, this to me really speaks about having that spiritual strength within you through balance, through alignment. And this is how I like to imagine the higher self. You know, it's you, just like this much larger light version of yourself, and it's holding up, it's really strong, so you can rely on that version of you to protect you, to guide you, to lend you support in any area that you need it, because this version of you has infinite potential and limitless strength and power from the light aspect, right? So it's really, your higher self is much more than that. It's not just like this slightly larger, lighter version of you. It's like literally all things. It is your God self. It is you that is not limited. It is you that is multidimensional. It is you that exists in various different realms and various different forms. But it's that version of you that is connected to the all. So it's like the cloud. It's got all, or it's like the internet, and you're the computer. Sure, why not? We'll go with that. So then we have sacral chakra and solar plexus chakra. So two more chakras to look at. These two are very much earthly, physical chakras. They're in the lower centers. Solar plexus is here, sacral's down below the belly button. And these are to do with emotional expression, self-expression, creativity, like relationships, how you relate to others based on how you relate to yourself, and how open and authentic you are with yourself. And then the solar plexus is your sense of self. So this is how confident you are in who you are, how secure you feel in yourself, in your abilities, in your talents, in your power. So this is your I am presence. This is you saying, you know, I am a being of infinite potential and love and light in the high sense. In the lower sense, in the shadow aspect of this, it can be blocked by like lack of self-confidence or ego confidence, overconfidence. So any kind of imbalance in the realm of your sense of self is going to be reflected in the solar plexus chakra. This is also related to your gut instinct. So that's really what we're talking about here. You can tell something. You also have that heart instinct too. You've got the heart instinct, you've got the gut instinct, and they're really close together, those two chakras. So they they communicate as well. So your gut instinct is going to also be linked to your heart instinct. And all of this is reflected in science too, which I think is really cool, because you've got neuronal pathways in the brain. You've also got circuitry in the heart that acts the same way. And then you've got also microbiomes in your gut of certain types of bacteria that do the same thing, just in a different way. So you've got three brains, really. You've got your brain that's in your head, which is connected to your third eye, and you've got your crown chakra. You've got your heart, which is connected to your heart brain. Your heart chakra connected to the heart chakra is connected to the heart brain. The sorry. The solar plexus, which is connected to your gut brain. That's your gut instinct. That's your knowing. Trust your gut. If you feel something's off, your stomach will twist or tighten. And if you feel something's good, I get this like really warm soup feeling in my stomach. That's the only way I know how to explain it. It just feels like drinking really nice warm broth in my stomach, and it feels really nice and comforting. So that's how you can kind of tell the difference there. Let's see what else is going on for the full moon. Light. Oh, I love it. So light, this is bringing in the light. This is helping us to ascend to a new level of light and ascension, beginnings and endings, ones and nines. This is very much that eclipse energy, very much the full moon energy, and they're both smashed together in Capricorn. So this is us really embracing the light. So there's nothing to worry about. All the struggle, all the strife, all the trauma that's coming up, all the past life stuff, all the genetic ancestry lineage healing and the collective karma. Oh my goodness. But it's all for a reason. And it's all allowing us to reach higher levels of light. Because if let's imagine it like if you're a balloon, you're full of helium, you naturally just rise. But all of that karma and all of that lower vibrational energy and all of the negative feelings and the negative emotions that are attached to experiences that occurred in the past, whether they were your past as a kid or recent past or past lives, past generations related to your birth, like it's a lot. And that's all the stuff weighing at the bottom of the balloon. That's all the stuff that's just keeping the balloon on the ground, when really the balloon naturally just wants to fly free. It's what it's made of. It's just the way things are. So when you release, you cut all those cords to the past, you drop all that baggage, the balloon just goes right up. There's nothing stopping it. You don't even have to try. It's effortless because it's who you are. Imagine that. Imagine yourself just filled with this light, and this light acts like helium. It just whoop, brings you right up. Okay, so that's enough from those ones. We're going to get the Amenti Oracle, Living with a Feather Heart. So it's all about the halls of Amenti, living by the guidelines of Maat, which is it's basically about living a pure life, living a life with good morals, living a life with kindness and love in your heart, keeping your heart light, not holding on to negative things, not holding on to fear or guilt or shame or judgment or anything like that. It's really about having that pure lightness of heart, because again, that's that helium that lifts you higher, and that when weighed on the scale, you can see here, they weigh your heart against a feather, and if your heart is the same as the feather or lighter, then you can pass to the underworld. If not, then you have to, or not the underworld, but you can pass to the realms of light. If not, then you have to redo and go back and do your karmic cycles and whatnot. That's the Egyptian belief. I mean, not to say that I necessarily resonate that, although I do have ties to ancient Egypt in some ways. I don't know if I had a life there or if I just, there's something there. I'm not quite sure what it is. I haven't figured it out. I think I had a life there. But I am peaceful. Here, let me see if I can, there. I am peaceful. And the dove over the top of her head really signifies that peace and that light, hope, healing, all of these things. And the hourglass. The hourglass really speaks to me of infinity, because it's got that 8 symbol, And you can turn it over and turn it over and turn it over as many times as you want. It's never going to run out because the sand is contained within the hourglass. And this also relates to time. So it's the infinite sands of time. We're all part of it. We're all in it. There's no separation. We don't have necessarily like a time limit, but we do have a perceived finite sense of time because we're here in the physical body, and this physical body and this ego that's attached to this physical body as part of like the operating system doesn't live forever, but the higher self does. This version of you, that higher self version of you, does live forever, is infinite, is limitless. There's no death. There's only transition. So this is us bringing back that peacefulness. I am peaceful. I am peaceful. I am peaceful. I really like meditating on these cards and using them for daily affirmations because each one holds profound wisdom, knowledge, and a very light vibration. I regard all altars with respect. So this has to do with not judging others for their beliefs, because many things are sacred and many people have many different beliefs on what is sacred to them. And so that can be Christianity, that can be Muslim, that can be witchcraft, that can be spirituality, that can be Buddhism, that can be atheism. Literally anything can be sacred to somebody. It's just whether or not you put a lot of focus onto it, whether or not you believe really intently in that. So this card's really about honoring everyone else, even if we don't agree with it. We don't have to agree. We just have to respect. We just have to honor. Even if we don't understand it fully, it's our responsibility to live with a feather heart, to unconditionally love others, no matter what they believe, no matter what they look like, no matter even what they do. Because ultimately, unconditional love is infinitely forgiving. It's tough for us to wrap our heads around that as humans because we go, well, what if somebody did something horrible? How can we love them? It's tough, but how can we not? Because that's us. It's a dark, lost version of us, but it's still us. We're all one. We're not separate. Our collective conscious mind is one mind. So we have to get past our human thinking on this subject. We have to get past our judgments. We have to get past those limiting beliefs, those limiting perspectives that really separate us. Borders. Why the hell do we have borders? I mean, I get it. I understand why. I know it. But from a higher perspective, it makes no sense. It's an imaginary line. We're not separate. Why do we have prejudice? Why do we have racism? It makes no sense. We're all humans. From a love perspective, it makes no sense. From a human perspective, I can see why, because you see them differently. Because they're different from you. They're separate from you. That's scary. But not from the spiritual perspective, not from the heart perspective that comes from unconditional love. You see somebody and you understand that that's just another version of you. They look completely different. They have completely different beliefs. Doesn't matter. It's still you. And you're just living many, many, many different experiences. So I think that tapping into your past lives can actually give you that perspective, because when you see yourself in so many different ways, as a man, as a woman, as a thief, as a princess, as a, a whale, like whatever. You see these versions of you and you understand at a deeper level that everyone around you, it's the same thing. They're all just versions of you. You're a version of me. I am a version of you. Hi, other me. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. I hope that you're receiving the love that you need in this life. And if you're not, then give it to yourself. Love yourself first, because that ultimately draws it to you and creates it. You are the creator. We're all one. We're all connected. There's no such thing as separation. We are infinite. We're limitless. We are gods. How did we get into this mess? Sometimes when shit gets really hard, you just gotta laugh. You've just gotta find that part of you that can find the lightness in it. See it from a higher perspective. It's not the be-all end-all. I know it seems like it. Trust me, I know. I've been there, and recently I've been there. It feels like the world's crashing down around you. It's tower moments and just, like all the drama. Full moons do that, right? They just bring it up. Bring it all to the surface. But at the end of the day, none of it really matters. I mean, it does. It does, because it's a beautiful experience, no matter if it's positive or negative, if we perceive it as bad or good. It's all an experience. It's all bringing us wisdom. And when we see it from that higher perspective, that it's all connected, it's all one, there's no separation, then it takes a huge weight off your shoulders. Like, you don't have to worry about everything so much. You don't have to fear everything so much. You don't have to separate yourself so much, or feel like you're cut off, or feel like you don't have enough, because not only do you have the power to create the life that you want, but you are doing that in so many different forms. And I just think that's really cool. So let's get an animal spirit guide, because these animal spirit guides are, again, a version of your soul. They are a part of you that is bringing you the wisdom that that specific animal holds. The traits of the animal are the energy that they embody. And when they come forward as a version of you to call on, you can embody those traits as well. So let's see. For the full moon in Capricorn, what animal? Oh, flew onto the ground again. Okay. A salmon. So salmon's been coming up actually a lot lately. I think it was on the... No, it's on the back end. Salmon. Wisdom, inspiration, and rejuvenation. Salmon is revered as extremely sacred in the Druid tradition, is the oldest animal, and it offers us wisdom and inspiration. Often with great difficulty, the salmon will return to the place of its birth to mate. To find wisdom, we too need to recapitulate our lives, to journey in consciousness back to our beginnings, to our childhood, and perhaps beyond, to our very origins in God or Goddess. It's exactly what I was just talking about. We're going back. It's exactly what I was just... Thank you, salmon. But not only wisdom, this brings not only wisdom, but youthfulness and inspiration. Remember, to find these things, you must maintain an attitude of openness and innocence, rather than strong-headed determination. So again, this is like going back to the heart, because the heart is very innocent. The heart is very playful and lighthearted and loving and joyous. And it's that human, it's that like that old human. I don't even want to say human, because it's not attached to the human. It's the ego that really seeks to be stubborn and strong-willed about things that it believes, but often they're false beliefs, right? So based in separation, based in fear, even it all boils back down to the ego just wanting to control, wanting to judge everything, wanting to put everything in boxes and keep it all neat and tidy and organized, and not understand the bigger picture because it only sees the bits and pieces, but the higher self sees the whole thing. Yeah. You know what I haven't done in a long, long time is use my divination rune set. Let's play with these. Why not? Okay, so these are quartz crystals inscribed with the runes. Let's see, what does the full moon in Capricorn, lunar eclipse, hold for us? So we have this one, if you can see that. Kind of looks like an M. I don't know these ones off by heart because it's been ages since I looked at them. M, transportation, motion, duality, change. It directs towards something new, a spiritual journey. So to me, it's everything that I was just talking about. We're going on a spiritual journey. We're going back. We're returning to the past. We are calling up these multidimensional versions of ourselves so that we can access that wisdom and that information so that we can move forward, letting go of whatever we don't need to bring forward with us or whatever is weighing us down from rising like that balloon, and then going on that spiritual journey, which is rising. And that's because, there's nowhere to go but up. And this could also indicate travel as well. So if you are feeling drawn to go on an actual spiritual journey, on a pilgrimage of sorts, there's many sacred sites all over the world, many. There's Egypt, there's Mount Shasta, there's the Aztec temples or pyramids, there's there's just, oh my God, there's so many. You could literally go anywhere and you'll find somewhere sacred wherever you decide to travel. You could just grab a globe, pick a spot, go there. You'll find somewhere sacred. Because guess what? The whole earth is sacred. You're sacred. We're sacred. Everything's sacred. So yeah, go on a spiritual journey. Take yourself where your heart leads you. That's why I moved to where I moved. That's why I live here now, because my heart guided me here. I listened. I was like, doesn't make sense to me, but I have to do it because my higher self says so. And your higher self knows, right? Because your higher self can see the whole timeline, not just this one little snippet that you're on. Your higher self has read the whole book. Your human self has only read this one page or the half the book that came before, but your higher self knows the ending. So I think that's good for today. Thank you, Salmon. Thank you to all of these wonderful energies that have come through from this reading for us to bolster our resolve through this Capricorn lunar eclipse and to get us through to the other side so we can rise, so we can say goodbye to all of the things that are keeping us stuck, stagnant, limited, grounded in a negative way, with the balloon. Weighed down. Sorry guys, my video cut out there. Frustrating Mercury retrograde stuff. And I realized it way later. So this is hours after I recorded that, filming the outro for the video. I was just saying that, we don't want to be weighed down. There's nowhere to go but up. So just really allow yourself to release what's not working for you so that you can move forward. And having these cycles is natural. Having those downward spirals and then the upward spirals. It's completely normal. So if you'd like to book a personal reading with me or a private Reiki healing session, all of the information is in the description box below with the updated prices and the new services and offerings with email readings and whatnot. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. I love interacting with you guys. And I will see you next time. Bye.